because of Lee and Rashid. So
Rashid, where's Rashid? Where's better? You're not back yet. Oh well, to be fair, it was Rashid. You know when somebody died in your family, and you just think you got to be seen to doing something, and I think Brixton may have changed out of all recognition, and we all know what I'm talking about in terms of gentrification. Now even Black and Dread Music Shop lay on Cole Harbour Lane again because they don't want reggae music on Cole Harbour Lane. So Brixton has changed out of all recognition. But you can move the people around, but you can't take a people's soul. You can't take their art and their heart and their soul. Said to me and to Rashid, you know what? This man can't pass without Brixton paying respects. It can't happen. Because otherwise, we may well move out and give it to the yuppie them and the bearded. Our gentrification. Let's leave it to them. But I said to them, you know what? We fought for the Black Cultural Archives to be here. Ali came to Brixton, as my brother has said. He didn't come with no great corporate sponsorship. He wasn't looking at a promotion deal on some marketing contract. He came to talk to the ordinary, everyday people of Brixton. And that's what I remember about Ali. From I was a child to my biological wasn't around and I had to search for a role model. I was lucky because I was born in the times of great blessings. Malcolm, Martin, Muhammed, I could go on, Angela Davis. I had a whole heap of inspiring people. Where has all that soul and commitment, integrity and passion gone from our community? Because I see too few people taking up the mantle, as my brother said. Even for myself, how old am I? 60. Coming up hard now. And I'm going to want to pass on the baton to the next people. Yeah, I've got strength to fight at least another 15 rounds. But the youngsters need to come through with the same kind of militancy that Ali brought to the table. Because when I saw Ali deal with racism, I knew how racism needed to be dealt with. That's it. I didn't need no Marxist manual. I didn't need any anti-racist training. I didn't need any trade unionists to tell me how to deal with racism. When I saw Muhammad speak, I knew instantly what my path would be and where I would be going. And that's why some people will say, well, you talk hardly. You're damn right, I talk hard. Because I've been taught by the finest minds of Malcolm and Muhammad and the rest of those heroes and sheroes in the past time, who didn't just talk rhetoric enough. Didn't have just the rhetorical flush to get people excited and then go home to their mansion in Chelsea and sit down and don't bother with the struggle. Not that type of activism. I'm talking about people who are prepared to die for their cause. Die for their cause. And Muhammad was of that ilk. He knew when he took on and was talking to white people in the 60s, he knew exactly what he was doing. That assassin's bullet could have been for him, but any one of the kind of people that were around in extremist America during the apartheid civil rights of the 60s and so on. So we know it wasn't no joke thing to Ali. We may be all laughing on Parkinson and say, oh, isn't the man a hoot? But the man's family was in America. He was talking hard to the racist white contingent and putting himself and his own family at risk. But he did so with great courage, great dignity, and great ethics. So I'm here today to say that Muhammad definitely inspired me. When he lost in tell me, when was it? 72. When he lost in 72? 71. I was 12. I cried the whole night long. And I cried the day. But you know what? You know what inspired me? Ali got back up, dusted himself down, got back in the gym, worked it all off, came back and reclaimed his championship yet again. Now I say this to young people, racism may knock you down to the ground. You may be laying on the ground, dealt a bad blow by life and racism. But if I go away 3 years and come back and you're still on the ground, that's on you, not on racism. Because Ali taught you, you could get beat, lose with dignity, get back in the ring and still win all other hearts and minds. Still win the fight that is up front of you. That's what Ali means to me. He's a kind of inspirational father figure that I never had in my own life. That I cleaved to, that I wanted to aspire to be like. And he gave me the inspiration to say, you know what? I can be excellence. Black excellence is not something that is foreign to me. Black excellence is something that we do regularly. And when we were growing up, we saw the athletes not only have excellence in their athletic ability, we saw them raise their black power fist in the 1968 Olympics, making a stand for all oppressed peoples around the world. We saw Ali saying, I'm not going to fight no war in Viet Cong for this American imperialism. Yeah? We saw Jesse Owens give 2 fingers to Adolf Hitler as he busted 100 meters and left the Aryan supreme white race looking at his backside as he went over the line. These are the experiences we had. And yet today, the inspiration is what? Fashion, music. Who is it? What is it? Who is it? Right? What it is confectionery. It is made for distraction, consumer distraction, so that you don't get back in touch with your roots. You don't get back in touch with your history. You lose your essential self trying to be somebody else instead of being what Ali told you to be, which is be true to yourself and stand up like a man and don't back down. Right? Don't back down. That don't mean to say that we're in any reckless endeavor, because Ali, if anything, was a scientist and a technician. He didn't go in there and fight his fight, the next man's fight. He fought his own fight. You understand me? And sometimes y'all didn't even recognize it. My man's on the road. Boom, boom, boom. They say, Ali, come out, no, come out, lick it, lick it. And you think, oh, he's taking a beating, what's happened? And then within 40 seconds, my man whiplash, blah, turn around, blah, and watch and see a giant of a man flayed out on the floor like he'd been beaten by his mother. Ali was the greatest ever. There's some people who aspire to that. I hear Mayweather talking about the greatest. I hear this body talking about I'm the greatest. Let me tell you, the position has been filled. There is no more vacancy. Everybody is aspiring should retire now. The post is permanently filled, whether Ali is here or Ali is not. And so today it gives me such great pleasure to be here and to have been able to. And this is what I like, being able to ring up Mr. Paul Reed from Black Cultural Archives and say, we got to do something in 2 days. 2 days. What are you going to do? We're going to honor Muhammad Ali. You know how many people I phoned before I phoned Paul? You know how many people frightened to have this thing here tonight? Give Paul a round of applause in the Black Cultural Archives. And I know he's not here, but I've got to raise up my brother Rashid. You know Rashid, right? He's the Green candidate. I like the Greens' politics, you know? I like the Greens' politics. They want to save the earth. I'm into saving the earth. You know? They like green food. I've lost a bit of weight. I like green food. You understand me? There's a lot I could get used to by the Greens. But the Greens need to blacken their text, and Rashid's the man to make sure that they do it. So raise him up again, Rashid. I know you're not here, but we love you still. And so as we come up to the finality for this, our brother is getting interred today. So he's committed to burial. And we say goodbye to one of the finest black men that ever walked on God's green earth. Muhammad! Ali. Muhammad! Ali. Muhammad! Ali. Who's the greatest? Ali. Who's the greatest? Ali. Who's the greatest? Ali. Muhammad! Ali. Peace.